I've had a few questions from page 97, number 20. A couple people were having trouble solving that inequality. So I found an example similar to it on page 72, number 123. And I'm going to show you how to solve that one, and then hopefully you can do number 20 on your own. What's important is you need to find the critical numbers in the problem. And those are the values that make the expression 0 or values that make the expression undefined. Once you find those values, you're going to set test intervals on the number line, then determine the possible intervals by testing numbers in each one of those intervals. And once you test them, you'll be able to find what intervals contain the answers and then list the answers. It sounds like a big job, but when you think the whole number system could be the answers, we're going to try to limit that. So here's how to do it. First thing you need to do is get the expression so that all of the variables are on one side of the inequality. So my first step is going to be to rewrite this. 1 over x minus 3 minus 9 over 4x plus 3 is less than or equal to 0. And that's just a little bit of algebra. You've done that before tons of times. Now notice I have two fractions. To solve this, I need to get the problem to be one fraction, and then I can look at it and find the critical numbers. Well, to get one fraction, I need a common denominator, which would be both of these things together. So on the first one, I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by 4x plus 3. 4x plus 3 times 1, 4x plus 3 times x minus 3. On the next fraction, I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by x minus 3. So 9 times x minus 3 and 4x plus 3 times x minus 3. Now when you're doing this type of problem, you don't need to multiply the bottom out because you would have to factor it again in the end to find the critical values. So at this point, I want to write it as one fraction, simplifying the top. So the bottom is going to be 4x plus 3 times x minus 3. What is the top going to be? Well, think about it. This times 1 is going to be 4x plus 3. This is going to be 9x minus 27. I'm going to have to distribute the minus sign. So let's make this a plus, make that a minus and a plus there. I'm sure you've done that lots of times. Then combining like terms, I get minus 5x plus 30. So now I have an inequality to look at and find the critical numbers, the values that make the expression 0. Well, 0 on the top makes the expression 0, so how do I find that? Well, that's easy. I take the top, minus 5x plus 30, set it equal to 0, and solve that. And you should get x equals 6. I'm not going to show that arithmetic. And then you take each one of these and set them equal to 0. In doing that, you're going to get x equals negative 3/4 and x equals 3. So those are what's called the critical numbers. Now, based on those critical numbers, I need to come up with a test interval. So I'm going to erase all of this work here and think about the test interval by looking at these answers and where they fall on the number line. So if I take the number line right here, you've seen that many times before. Let's put 0 here. Let's put negative 1, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, where are these answers on that number line? Well, there's one of them. There's another one. Negative 3/4. It's right about there. I'm going to write that in so I'll remember what it stands for, that dot there. So now I have the critical numbers on the number line. So now, based on those, I have some intervals. I have the interval over here, which is negative infinity to negative 3/4. That's one interval to test. Then I have from negative 3/4 to 3. Negative 3/4 to 3. What's the next one I'm going to have? 3 to 6. What's the next one I'm going to have? My number line doesn't go far enough, but that arrow means where does it go? Positive infinity. So 6 to infinity. Notice when I write infinity here, I put a negative in front of it. You don't need to put the positive here for the plus infinity. So those are 4 possibilities for where answers could be. So now what you need to do to figure out, are those all the answers, or are some of them maybe don't quite work in the problem? So you can go back to the original problem and you test numbers. Now basically you want to test each end number and then a number in between them to see if the interval works. Well, I really can't test negative infinity, right? But I could try a number smaller than negative 3/4, so let's try negative 1. And when I put negative 1 in this equation, I get 1 over negative 4, right? 1 over negative 4 less than or equal to, and when I put negative 1 here, I get negative 4 plus 3, which is negative 1. I get 9 over negative 1, or negative 9. Is negative 1/4 less than negative 9? No. All right, so that one doesn't work. All right, let's try negative 3/4 in there. And if you test it in, I'm not going to show that, but it does not work either. So that test interval doesn't work as part of the answer. So let's move on to this one. Well, we already know that negative 3/4 doesn't work. So now I want to try a number in between there. So what number could I try in between there? How about the number 2, right? So I try the number 2 in there, and I find out that it works. So yes, that works. And then I try the 3. What happens when I put 3 in there? Ooh, I get a 0 on the bottom. That's undefined. So the 3 doesn't work. So the 3 doesn't work. No, and I knew the negative 3/4 didn't work. So remember I said you have to try each end point and then one number in between. Okay, let's go to the next group. Well, I already know that the 3 doesn't work, right? I want to try a number between 3 and 6. So let's try 4. And when I try 4 in there, it doesn't work. I'm testing the 4 in here and seeing if it's true or false. 4 does not work. Then I try the 6, and the 6 works. So let's get a yes there. All right. Now I'm going to go down to this interval. And down here, I know that the 6 works, right? I can't really try positive infinity. I just need to try one number bigger than 6. So let's try 7. I don't want to go too big here. And when I try the 7, I get it to work. So now, how do I take all of this information and give the final answer for the problem? Well, I know that this whole interval works from 6 to infinity. So that's part of the answer. Now, should I put this bracket or should I put the square bracket? What do you think? Did the 6 work? Yes, so if I want to include that endpoint, I need to put this type of bracket, okay? Now, you don't really need to put it on the side for the infinity. Okay, and then what else worked here? So we got that one taken care of. We also knew that negative 3/4 didn't work, right? 3 didn't work, but in between there numbers worked because the 2 worked. And I could try another number in between there if I was a little nervous about it. I could try 1, and you would find out that that also works. So how do I write this? Well, negative 3/4. I put the curved line here because negative 3/4 did not work. All right? and then I put a 3, and do I put a curve or a bracket here for 3? What do you think? Did the 3 work? Nope, so I can't include the 3, so I want to make sure I put a curved bracket there. Now, on this one where I'm going to infinity, I think you could put a square bracket there. I'm not fussy about that end because we go to infinity. The thing is, you really don't hit infinity, so on the test interval, I called it that. So I think we'll leave it curved, but it doesn't matter. So there you go. Hopefully you liked and could follow that.